Hello, future professionals. Welcome to day 4 of Top 100 Coding Question Analysis. Today, we are challenged with the question to find the factorial of a number. To solve this question, we must know what is a factorial. Eager to solve? Why wait? Let's dive in. Factorial is a product of numbers starting from 1 to n. Suppose we need to find the factorial of 3, we multiply 1, 2 and 3, which gives us the product 6. So 3 factorial is 6. If factorial of 5 is asked, we multiply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which gives us the result 120. So 5 factorial is 120. We also have to note that 0 factorial is 1. When talking about the logic, we must create a loop that runs n number of times to multiply the numbers in the range 1 to n to find the factorial. Now that we have understood what is factorial and the logic behind it, it's time to code. Let's start coding. Let's now start defining a function to get the user's input. I name the function getUserInput. Here, we initialize the value of n to the input that the user gives. Now we return the value of n. Let's define a function to validate the number, that is, to validate the user's input. Here we use if conditionality as well as isNumeric_string method to find whether the string contains numeric values or not. If the condition satisfies, we return true, else we return false. Next, we define a function to find the factorial of the given number. Camel casing is very important. Here we initialize the variable fact to 1. As we know that 0 factorial is 1, we check whether the user has inputted 0 as the number by checking if n equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then we print the factorial is fact, which contains the value 1. Else, if the number is greater than 0, now we use the for loop in the range 1 to n plus 1 so that we also include n in the range and multiply fact with I and store the value in fact. Let's now return the value of fact. Next, we shall define a method to print the factorial. It gets the parameter as fact, and now we print the factorial. Do you notice some repetition of code? Yes, I do see it. It is in the previous method. So we delete this line of code and instead we replace it with the pass keyword. It is your homework to know what pass does. I hope we have created all the necessary functions. It's time to call those functions. Let me initialize the variable num to get the user's input. Now the return value is stored in num. Then we call the validate number method and store the return value in is valid number. We pass the argument as num. Next, we check the condition. If it is a valid number, then we convert the number from string data type to integer data type. Now that we have to call convert to int, we actually see we have not defined a function called convert to int. So we start by defining a function convert to int to convert the string data type to an integer data type. It must get parameter as n to convert the string data type of n to integer data type of n. Next, we return the value of n. Now we shall call the function convert to int and pass argument as num. Else, if the condition, that is valid number, fails, we print the statement or warn the user enter a valid number. Now that we have converted string data type to integer data type of num, we shall call the factorial function to get the factorial of that particular number and store the output in the fact variable. Let's now call the function to print the factorial. Print fact is the function that we have defined to print the factorial. We see that the naming convention is highlighting that f has to be in caps. Hope we have completed our program successfully, so let's run it. There is no output. Why? Let's check the code from top to bottom. Let me check whether I have wrongly typed any function's name. No, it is the indentation error. We have improperly made the indentation, that is, stop the program from asking us from any prompt. Let's now once again run this program. Now it gives us the prompt enter the value of n. Let me enter 3 as the input. We get the factorial is 6. Let me now enter 5 as the input. We get the factorial as 120. Let me run it for 7. We get the factorial as 5040. Let me enter for an invalid input and let us see, does it show a warning? Yes, it shows a warning that enter a valid number. Now that we have successfully completed our program, I hope that you have got the best out of this video. I recommend you subscribing our channel to get more such interesting videos.